Hello everybody, hopping on. Let's make some dinner tonight. It's going to be hopefully an easy recipe. It is a Swedish meatball noodle bake. So we're going to do it in steps, so I'll be coming back and forth. It's going to start out with some ground beef, and if you want the whole recipe with all the measurements, just put a message below, comment recipe, and I will send it on to you. So it's 1 onion, chopped fine. Okay. Okay, so we got our onion. I've got 1 egg. Let's get our meat over here. So we've got 1 egg, 1/4 cup of breadcrumbs, milk, parsley, and onions. So we're going to mix this all up, and we're going to form little mini meatballs with our little scoop here. And then we'll start on the sauce. What am I looking for? That's what I'm looking for. We'll start on the sauce, and the noodles are going, and then we're going to layer that into a dish, a baking dish, and we're going to put that up in the oven. And top it with some Swiss cheese, and dinner should be ready. But everything is measured out. There's really not much to it. Super easy. I will bring you over when I start making the sauce, which has, which I call woo-woo sauce. Is Worcestershire sauce. I can never say that word. And it has sour cream. What else? Flour. I think that might be it. And salt and pepper. So stay tuned for that. And we're going to put in our parsley. Okay, put in our breadcrumbs, put in our milk, and our egg. So this will help bind it. All right, let's use our whole mix and chop thing here. Get this all done. Can you see? We're just going to mix it up good. Then we'll have to get our hands in there and start making some meatballs. This dish is super easy, and if you didn't want to use the noodles, you could put this in like a heated pan, like our digital stand heater, and put it in there and have just mini meatballs for like a little side appetizer when you're having a little party get together. And again, this is really, really easy. And we're going to put some salt and pepper. Get that out of the way. I'm very surprised there's no garlic in this recipe, but I guess you could add it. Okay. Mix it back up more. I'll make a couple meatballs with you, and then I'll turn you back once we start making the sauce. Okay, that's looking good. Okay, let's get this out of here. So, my least favorite part, getting my hands dirty. Alright, here we go. We've got a little thing set up here. Let's see. Actually, let me take my ring off too. I love this size meatballs though. These little mini meatballs, they come out great. Yeah. Got a little meatball. There you go. Use up all the meat. Try to keep them around the same size, which is why the scoop is really good, because you want them to all brown up in the pan at the same time, same cooking temp, and be done. We'll fry those up in the pan, and then we'll remove them, and then we'll start doing our sauce, add them back in, and start layering everything. So I'm going to continue doing this. We'll be back. Alright, so meatballs are all done and ready. The next step was a cup of Swiss cheese. Let me get here. I got the block. Who knows why we do not like to use the pre-shredded cheese? Full of lots of yucky stuff. Doesn't melt great, not healthy for you, and these are cheaper. So there's this grater, and then I have another one with a finer grate on it. I'm going to do a little bit more than a cup because who doesn't like cheese? Okay, and the recipe, once the meatballs are cooked and then the sauce is made, we're going to layer it with the egg noodles into a baking dish and do layers with the Swiss cheese and bake it for like 20 minutes or so. Yeah, 20-25 minutes. That should be good. So there we go. Look at that. Look how beautiful. Totally easy. Take 2 seconds. Look, who doesn't like cheese? All right, we'll be back after we fry these guys up and make the sauce. All right, let's go make up some meatballs here. We're gonna take our saute pan, put it on a little medium, and we're going to put in 2 tablespoons of oil. I might be putting a lot more, because I got a lot of meatballs here, so I'm gonna do 3. Or maybe more. Let's see. Let our pan get hot. And we will pop these babies on. It says just to brown all sides, and we're going to take them out and use whatever's all the crispy stuff, the frond from the bottom of the pan to help make our sauce. Okay, let's put that on high. All right, our pan is hot. We're going to take our meatballs. I'm going to try to fit in as many as I can. This says to brown on all sides. There's a lot of meatballs. Probably could have used the scoop one size bigger to have less meatballs, bigger size, but we like the little ones. Alrighty. Once we get these all in the pan, we can put our noodles, our egg noodles, into the water. They take about 6 to 7 minutes to cook. And then start working on the sauce for this. Okay? Man, there's a lot of meatballs. Probably shouldn't be overcrowding the pan, but I got stuff to do. Almost. Can we do it? Almost there. 3, 2, and 1. We got them all in there. All right. So I'm gonna lower the heat a little bit, and we'll put our noodles in and set the timer. So we're going to just cook these until they start browning on all sides. You want to get like a nice char on them so they have some color and flavor. So it might take a little extra to do that. Alright, we'll be back after we flip them. Meatballs are done and browned, so we're going to take those out of the pan. Our noodles are done and straining in the sink. And then we will start the sauce and assemble it all together. Super easy. Let's just hope. I'm going to do extra on some of the ingredients because I think I've made this at one other time, and if I recall, I needed a lot more flavor. So don't be afraid to change your recipe if it's not exactly what you want. There we go. Why lots of meatballs? Got these strain in here. And there's going to be like bits of burnt up, kind of like onions or the meat. that's great. Leave that, because once we start adding the stuff for the sauce, that stuff will give it a lot of nice flavor. So don't worry about it. Almost done. All right, so we get that out. The recipe calls for a 1/4 cup of flour and for about a minute. And we're gonna mix this in with the oils that are in the pan. Try to get that whiteness from it out so it soaks it all up, because you don't want it to be tasting like flour. Kind of makes the roux, helps the sauce thicken up. Okay, so you see that? Okay, now that it's all charred up here, I'm going to lower the heat too. Alright, and then it says, gradually add the beef broth, stirring until it thickens, and then we'll do the sour cream. And let's see here. Okay, there's 4 cups of of beef broth, which is this whole container, 32 ounces. And it will start thickening up with this flour mixture. It just will take a little bit of time. Once it does, we will put the sour cream and the Worcester sauce, Worcestershire sauce, Google sauce. We'll put all that in. And we'll have a nice mixture to top our noodles and our meatballs. So I think I will double the Worcestershire sauce. I'm gonna come back when this is all thickened up. And you want to make sure you break up all the flour parts, because you don't want anything that tastes like flour. Okay? And if it still doesn't look thick enough to your liking, you can always take a little bit of the broth and put some more flour, mix it up outside, and then pour it in to help thicken it. But it will probably thicken after it cooks down a bit, okay? Okay, so it took a bit, but you can kind of see the sauce is starting to thick, almost to a thin gravy. Alright, I just kept mixing it and mixing it. Let it bubble and burn off a bit, and it's a little bit thicker now. We're going to put in 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce. Ooh, sauce. And I might put an extra one in at the end to give it a little bit more flavor. Okay, and then it says to add your sour cream. I've got a cup of sour cream. Let's mix that one more time. And once we get it all incorporated, we will put the meatballs back in here. Cook them for about 5 minutes. And then we'll start assembling this in our baking dish. I like to get this all mixed together first before we add the meatballs back in. There we go. And it'll get like a light brownish tan color once it's all incorporated. Let's let that cook down a little bit. Back in, and then we're going to simmer this for about 5 minutes. So there's going to be another way to do this. There we go. Set our timer for 5 minutes. Thicken up. Alright, let's assemble this. So the recipe says to take some of the noodles. Some of the noodles, place it on the bottom. And we're going to do it like, layer it like almost like a lasagna. Okay? And then we'll put some of the meatball mixture. Top it with some of the Swiss cheese. Okay. More liquid in here. So our noodles don't dry out. Alrighty. Then I'm going to put some of this shredded Swiss cheese on top. Noodles. And if it looks like it's too much, you don't have to use it all. It might not. That's plenty. Then we're going to put the rest of the meatball mixture, some more cheese, top it and bake it for 20 to 25 minutes. I think I'm only going to do 20 just so it doesn't dry out. A little bit of parsley for some color. Okay. I got the oven heating now because I forgot to turn it on. There we go. All of our meatballs are out. Almost. And I'm going to put the rest of the sauce on and the cheese, and we should be good. Right. Hopefully this tastes as good as I think it looks. I guess we'll find out. I might have to tweak it a little bit. Cheese, cover, and bake. Lots of stuff. Alright, the rest of our cheese. I wouldn't think of Swiss with this meal, but I'm just following the recipe for the first time, and you can always change it later. Okay, so, forgot a little bit of parsley. Alright, the moment of truth. This is done. Let's take the lid off and see what we got. Watch the steam. Wash. Okay. And I just used my pot holder. Ready? Looks pretty yummy. What you think? Alright, we're gonna have dinner. Plate up. Post a picture when it's all plated and ready. And if it's a great recipe, I'll be happy to share. Have a great night. Happy Saturday. Bye.